So much for that incredibly kind introduction. I'd like to at this point just mention and also say a big thank you to Gary, who's organized graduation ceremonies like this for the past 7 years. He will be taking up the role as vice principal for upper school next year, so I believe this is the last year that he gets to celebrate here in this manner with us. So thank you very much. Dearest members of staff, family, friends, and fellow graduates of the class of 2015, I am overwhelmed by the honor of being allowed to speak before you all today. Not only the class of 2015, but before all those people that have helped us get here. The people whom we as individuals trust and love the most. Quite frankly, I felt that any words I would write on a piece of paper would not do the immensity of today and what today symbolizes justice. So instead of doing what I thought I had to perhaps focus on acknowledging the long journey that we have braved, I would like to use this opportunity of being able to speak to the people whom I hold in my greatest regard to share with you how it is that I came about learning the single greatest lesson of my life. This is the lesson of appreciation. The last time I stood on stage and I spoke to you, it was the 12th of December. Some of you may remember this day because it was the last day of term 1. Some of you may remember it because of the Christmas holiday that stood before us. And some of you may remember it for the beach party that took place on Sentosa that night. I remember that day for very different reasons. On the 12th of December, I gave a speech that I'd written at 4 a.m. that morning. It was not a speech that I'd prepared, but it was a speech that had come from my heart. In it, I, through anecdotes, expressed a desire to learn to appreciate. 2 anecdotes in particular I used as a footing for what I was trying to communicate. The first one was rather trivial, but an anecdote I'd hoped everyone could relate to. Rather dramatically, I described what it felt like to have lost your phone, to frantically have gone searching for it, and then, upon finding it, to realize that I did, in fact, appreciate it. The second anecdote was much more personal. I'd come home from school that week, only my mom and I were in Singapore, to find her standing amongst boxes of Christmas decorations, crying uncontrollably. She was crying because she didn't want to celebrate Christmas without her brother, who had passed away in a car accident just 6 months prior. I chose to share these 2 stories because although they might have seemed insignificant to you, they made me realize something very important. Why did it take me losing my phone to learn the value of it? And why did it take me seeing my mother so upset for me to appreciate what it is that she was going through? I remember the 12th of December because 2 days later, on December 14th, my mother passed away unexpectedly right next to me. I am grateful that she did not have to celebrate Christmas without her brother. I am grateful that we are an incredibly strong family. I am grateful for everyone who was there with us in those very difficult days. But, and this is why I'm sharing this story with you, I am most grateful that in those hours before she passed, I had made the decision to tell her about the speech I gave that Friday. She knew that she was appreciated because I had made the decision to tell her. She passed away knowing that she was appreciated. I cannot tell you how incredibly grateful I am for that. The power of appreciation is the lesson that I have learned, and indeed it is the lesson that I am still learning. So believe me when I say, I appreciate the fact that we are all standing here today surrounded by those people who helped us get us here, knowing that we are graduating from the United World College of Southeast Asia together as the class of 2015. And as we are all here together, overcome possibly by an inability to put into words what it is these past few years UWC have meant to us, we need to realize that this is the way it should be. No words today will be able to encapsulate what our time at UWC will have meant to us tomorrow. Because we all, in our many different ways, love UWC. This love exists in a capacity far greater than anything we can express through words. Yet we know still that this is what we have felt over and over again during our time here. We felt it in service, on class trips, working together to prepare for an exam, perhaps. We felt it during forum, when we signed up for 20 minutes away from tutor group and wound up engaging in heated discussion, feeling as though our opinions were in fact valued. We will, no doubt, always remember these moments, but we should be careful, because we will be tempted to see this part of our lives as a thing of the past, a memory of the best times, something that we can never get back. We shouldn't let this kind of reminiscing get to us. It may leave us wishing to relive something we simply cannot. And instead of bringing us closer to others, our memories of UWC that are so filled with love may one day make us feel alone. Instead, like everything else we've learned here, these memories shouldn't just be remembered, but carried with us and celebrated simply because we have them. The great thing is, though, before we start thinking about those memories, we can first understand why it is we are here today. That we are here together celebrating what it is we have achieved. Because we deserve the now, not a yesterday, nor a tomorrow. We deserve a now, not an earlier or a later. We also deserve a thank you, not for what we did last week, nor for what we will do next week, but for who we are today, right here and right now. Though, as you all know, it is not just us who deserve a thank you. It is all the people who have helped us get here. So if there's one thing each of us in the graduating class of 2015 do tonight, then let it be a heartfelt thank you to the people who truly deserve it. So here is my thank you to every single person sitting in this hall, to everyone watching on the live stream, and to everyone watching from a very different place. Before I leave, I would like to say one last thing. Please, let us never forget to appreciate. Because if we don't truly know what something or someone means to us until it is taken away from us, then one day when we have achieved our dreams, we may wake up and realize that we have spent our whole lives sleeping. Instead, one day when we realize our dreams, let us look back at our journey and know that we appreciated every single stepping stone along the way. Thank you and congratulations.